Arc Raiders just had a very strange update. And I mean an actual update that you could have downloaded. And there's a reason why I say could have. I'm going to go through all the details there, all the hidden information in that. We'll cover the backstory on what's going on and why that might point to a release date or even a shadow drop. We'll go over some additional discrepancies that are happening in other regions. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in another video. Today we're checking out all things Arc Raiders. So what exactly is going on with this recent update? Now yes, if you were on Steam at a certain specific time, you actually did receive an update to your Arc Raiders playtest. This wasn't to the official game, this was to the playtest. But this was an actual downloadable update that was available for around 5 to 10 minutes. As we can see here on the Steam DB page, which is essentially a Steam database. Whenever a game gets updated, even on the back end where you don't actually see things, that's going to let you know when the last recorded update was. A lot of times this points to release dates or even when a new patch is going to be available. It's really cool. It's a nice little database trick here. They also, of course, have Steam charts in this. But as we do see here, the last recorded update was May 19th, which is very odd because the playtest is no longer available. So why exactly was the depot updated, and what exactly got updated? Well, if we look over at some of the Reddit comments, the Reddit community, and what they're pointing out to, you could see here someone says, an update, there's an update for the playtest. If you had your updates set to auto on Steam, you actually did receive this update more than likely. Now again, of course, that's not guaranteed, but you could check you might have received this update. So what was packed in the update? What's going on there? There's been a whole host of questions. Well, first off, this update actually did delete a lot of files to stop people from data mining, those who still had the playtest installed. So if you did eventually update that, it actually removed a lot of your files. Seeing as that's actually kind of funny, I still have technically the original, the finals playtest, and I never did the last update. I wonder if that would have deleted all my files. However, this actually did install something as well, and people were able to launch as it replaced and added a new exe file. So if we jump over to another Reddit thread, this one is fairly more recent, and it goes over what happened with yesterday's update that was available for that, again, 5 to 10 minutes publicly. For those who had the instant Steam update, they actually were able to retrieve the exe left in the game files, and they were able to compare the SHA-1 sum file. Now hold on, I know for a lot of you, you're saying, what is that exactly? Well, a SHA-1 sum file is a secure hash algorithm that will generate a 40-character hexadecimal hash file. To break that down in simple terms, it basically outputs a specific hash content or unique file to a file text name, and it basically checks the files that if anything changed completely or even slightly, this will make sure that it matches the download. So it essentially ensures that data hasn't been tampered with, checking if the file matches the expected hash. It's kind of like when you verify your files on Steam. So basically, people have confirmed that this is a real update and a real exe, as it does match the original. However, the base 64 string that's located at the top of this exe file when you do launch it, which again is kind of a troll link or is essentially a troll launch, doesn't actually let you launch the game. It just launches to this platform where you can't actually click the play button. In fact, every time you move your mouse over the play button, it moves. However, it does give a base 64 link here that can then be decoded and links to this website with a tick count timer, where that reads as follows: 14 days, 23 hours, 42 minutes at the recording of this audio. Again, that might be slightly different. I will include a link to it down below in case you want to check it out. So after all the decryption there, what this exe eventually led to was this tick countdown timer. So you can evade everything previously, all that stuff doesn't really matter to you. What matters is this timer here. Now what does this timer mean? 14 days, what's going on and what's happening in 14 days, as the developers have left this specific countdown timer on purpose? Well, as a commenter points out here, the date and time shared with this coincides with the Summer Games Fest on June 6th. And this legitimately links up exactly to the exact date and time of Summer Games Fest, which starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So now that we have all these links here, everything connected to Summer Games Fest, this little linked in troll executable, we can now check out what's going down and what's happening at Summer Games Fest. Now we'll link down to this below if you want to check it out for yourself, but we do have the schedule here for the SGF and the events. So as we see here, June 6th is the start of the initial show for the Summer Games Fest. That's going to be happening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, or 4 p.m. CST. As it mentions, of course, it's going to be Jeff Keighley and thousands of fans to look at what's next in video games. The same day, around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be around 2 hours after the show starts, depending on your time zone, that's going to be the Day of the Devs, which is looking at the upcoming indie games. And then June 8th is the Xbox show, followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. So it has to be within this time period here, from June 6th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, to June 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So literally June 6th would have to be the reveal date, the release date, or even a shadow drop of the game. One of those things is happening. Maybe there's a new trailer at this new fest. But in between that 2-hour period, so you want to mark your calendars on June 6th, something is happening pertaining to Arc Raiders. And even to further nail home everything here, someone here on the Reddit thread named Itty Bitty Ninja has broken down all the different hash calculations, all the different files, things that have been happening over the recent weeks, where it goes on to say, I'm not telling you the release date, coming soon, enlist, and resist. There's also a few other hash files here and proof of verification, basically that you can check that this is, yes, directly from the Steam database with the file hash ready to go. Again, just to further nail home everything that something is happening at the Summer Games Fest. We'll jump over to one more Reddit thread here to go over this, at least to try to squeeze all the information we can out of this. This person goes over, obviously talking about the decrypted information with that exe file. The finals actually had something very similar happen days before releasing the game. They started giving people more and more teasers, things that would link exactly to how Arc Raiders is following. But they might actually either release the game at SGF, or there might be a beta, or even a trailer with the release date. Again, something is happening on June 6th between 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Time in between those 2 hours. That is when we're going to get the next major information, whatever it is. We do have 2 additional insider things here that we can look at, where this Reddit user has discovered there are some hidden channels on the Arc Raiders Discord. They do currently have the Tech Test 2 General and General Media locked, so those are not accessible. And they have also added a wiki admin page. So they are definitely gearing up for something here. Which they also have added an animated banner to Discord. People have tried to deep dive into this. As someone mentions here, Arc Raiders community analyzing every frame to see if there's maybe some hints. Doesn't look like anything for that though. People are very starved for this. But yes, currently they do have an animated Discord banner. Really nothing special there for that though. Some people are speculating an open beta tomorrow. I don't really know though, we'll have to wait and see. There is one last correction I want to make here with this article, or at least also with this Reddit post. It does seem like the Polish Epic Game Store site has Arc Raiders listed as a free-to-play title. And just to clarify, Arc Raiders is not a free-to-play title, it is a premium release title. So it is not the same like the finals, there is actually a premium price tag to it. Granted, it is confirmed to be $40. I'm not sure why the Polish organization hasn't fixed that. It used to be a free-to-play title, but then it swapped over when they went to PvPvE mode. So yeah, hopefully they do fix that and address any confusion there. I get that comment basically on all my Arc Raiders videos, is this going to be free? No, it's not going to be free, but it is basically only $40 and definitely worth that money. Overall, that should about cover everything in this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down below and I'll try to answer those best as possible. If you enjoyed today's video, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces.